Here's man just bare answering a question normally, and she just results to violation for no reason.
Right now, we're gonna look into a few questions.
So really, what you're supposed to do is to figure out what pair of judging functions does Sarah have. What pair of intuitive functions? Perceiving functions does Sarah have, and then which ones do you think are the most dominant? Which ones do you think are the least dominant? That's really all you got to do, and then you've pretty much got her type. She could be an ENTP. She could be an ISFJ. She could be a
Okay, so the first question, and these questions we're actually gonna get from Type Match, guys. We're recording this on Valentine's Day. Go say hello, and not just hello, but give your love to whoever you appreciate, value in your life.
We're not sponsoring.
And we're not sponsoring Type Match here, but they are a dating app, and they do have questions to help you figure out what your personality type is and match you with your supposed compatible companion or whatnot. So we're using some of their questions actually. So go check them out. So the first one we're gonna ask is, when giving an argument, I'm more likely to 1, list out all the reasons, or 2, provide one underlying reason.
Yeah, the second one.
Second one? I'm the second one. Provide one underlying reason. Yeah. Next question. When I disagree with someone's facts, I first, 1, ask why they think that and try to gather more information. 2, counter with an opposing fact. I'm number 1.
Someone's facts.
So when you disagree with someone's facts.
So it's not their opinion.
Yeah, when they disagree with facts. Sorry.
How can you disagree with facts?
Hold on. No, listen.
I mean.
No, when I disagree with someone's facts, I first ask why they think that and try to gather more information. Or 2, counter with an opposing fact.
How can you disagree with a fact, though? It's a fact. You don't really agree with it. You don't really have an opinion.
So is it 1 or 2?
Or, this is red. Oh, I agree with that.
I think it really depends on the context. For example, if you know immediately that whatever they're saying is indefinitely a fact, well then aren't you going to counter with a fact? Whereas if they're proposing something that
they believe is true.
They're probably saying it's a fact, right? But what if you don't have enough information about that? What are you going to result to? I think it's dependent on context here.
Okay, well, yeah, then depends on context. That's my answer.
That's not the answer, though.
Let's move on.
I chose number 1. You are cheating here. Okay, so when I want to understand something, I mostly focus on 1, defining the terms and breaking it down to fundamental principles, or 2, doing a lot of research on the various components.
Definitely number 1.
Yeah,
that's what I just did.
I'm number 1 too. Okay. Yeah. Next question. So to deal with a group of people who have different values, we should agree on a few common values and focus on those, or 2, give equal consideration to everyone's individual values.
Can you repeat that?
To deal with a group of people who have different values, we should 1, agree on a few common values and focus on those, or 2, give equal consideration to everyone's individual values. I'm number 1 for sure. Bro, you really want to spend so much time discussing what each and everyone's values are?
Equal consideration. So that's doing that thing.
Sorry, I was going to provide my opinion, but it's okay.
I think it's both, but I think it's good to do both. So, not to devalue the other people's individual opinions, but to primarily focus on maintaining the harmony. I think that's it.
No, I totally agree with you. I totally agree. It's just that I wouldn't want to be spending so much time dissecting why each person believes on certain things. I'm like, cool, what are our common values? Great, let's move on. So next question. When it comes to learning something new, number one, first organize and review what I know before gathering more information. Or two, first gather a lot of information and then try to organize it and get it straight in my mind.
When learning something new?
Yes.
Yeah, the second one.
Oh, I would say I would start with number one. Like
starting with what you already know.
Yeah, what do I know? And then
learning something new.
Oh, learning something new. But no, still I've noticed myself kind of do that. It'd be like, okay, cool, this is what I understand. Then I'll be like, what do I need to know now? Like, yeah, for example, NFTs. Oh, cool, I understand that it means this and this. What more do I need to know to really understand the concept? That's just...
Yeah, now, for me, when I learn something new, I'm going to research about it.
Yeah.
So,
I think the whole, like... I think maybe, like, the what I know part is very subconscious. Like, oh, okay, this is what I know. So I'm indefinitely going to just, like, search for this, and this to understand.
We have different answers. Yeah. We're not the same time.
We're not the same people.
We're not the same... we're just not the... We're not the same. Me and Sarah are not the same. You can see it. She's a woman. I'm a man. We're not the same.
Damn, you're making an interesting statement here.
She's
let's not get political.
She's wearing green. I'm not wearing green. We're different.
You are wearing green. You're wearing a green beanie, nigga. Okay.
That, jeez. Right. Okay.
Damn, we really went there. Okay. So
let's move on.
Are you like analyzing our cognitive functions as we're talking?
No.
I'm doing that. That is hilarious. Okay. My plans are really more, number one, open-ended, or two, clear and decisive.
My plans? I don't have open-ended. If I plan something, I want it to be, the way that it is. You get me?
I hear you. So they're more clear and decisive.
They're open-minded in the sense that if something happens to change up those plans, I'm going to naturally change them, to.
So you're adaptable.
Yeah, I'm adaptable.
Your preference.
I wouldn't say I'm planning to do this and this, but I'm open-minded. I could just change it.
So do it. What would you say your preference is?
What do you mean preference? My preference is that the plan goes as it's planned.
Right. So more clear and decisive.
Yes.
Right. Understandable. I would say the same. I like a clear plan, but I'm also open-minded. There are times where I can be spontaneous, but that's probably because I'm in my subconscious.
Hey, that's illegal. You're answering both of those questions.
You
put both answers.
Sorry, but you also said you were open-minded in a sense. Okay, let's not roast Joshua. Okay, so when it comes to a lot of options,
I'm not really being roasted.
You're not, but I mean, okay. When it comes to a lot of options, number one, I find it easy to zone in on the best one, or two, I find it difficult to decide out which one is best.
Depends on how many options are available.
True. But let's say you were given 5 options.
I wouldn't say it'd take too long. I'd probably decide.
But then wouldn't it depend on the type of options? Because they could be more complex or more simple. But in general terms.
If I'm given a lot of options, like 10 plus, then yeah, it's going to be a bit difficult. But if I'm given 5, then I'll be right.
I see. I would say I find it difficult to decide the best. Yeah. Okay. So next question. I prefer to spend my time, number one, taking in all that is new, whether it's experiences or information, or two, focusing on a few things that I love and going in depth with them.
Definitely the second one.
Same, definitely the second one. Next question. When it comes to unpredictable situations, I, number one, am prepared for whatever because I have planned or practiced for it, or two, am confident that I'll be able to improvise a solution in the moment.
Can you repeat that?
Oh, yeah. Short-term memory. Let's not give it away.
Nice. I mean, the question's pretty obvious anyway as well. It's basically a question on that.
Okay, when it comes to unpredictable situations, number one, am prepared for whatever because I have planned or practiced for it. Or two, I'm confident that I'll be able to improvise a solution.
No, that depends. If it's a difficult situation like performing for playing a song, I would be confident that I've practiced XYZ amount of time, so I should be all right. I mean, I'll still be a bit nervous, but I'll be pretty confident. Whereas if I'm not as planned, wait, what was the second one saying?
I'm confident that I'll be able to improvise a solution in the moment.
That also depends. Sometimes I feel like if I'm confident, it's based off of the fact that I'm well experienced in something. So like I might be well confident in the fact that I can play chords at a piano, and that will put me in a scenario where if out of all of a sudden I'm playing for, a worship set or something, I can be like, okay, well, I've already got the experience, so I'm pretty sure I'll be able to improvise something on the spot to help.
So based on the fact that you know how to play the piano. So like, for example, because you're familiar with the different chords and things like that, I'd be like, hey, Josh, we're having this, little worship session. Can you come play the piano? Just maybe play some tunes. Like, if it wasn't like actual music, like songs that we were singing and you were just playing tunes, you'd be fine with that, like improvising.
Probably.
But if we were actually singing songs that you weren't familiar with, would you still be open to improvising?
No, I'd be panicking.
Yeah. Interesting. There's your answer. Okay, but I think this is quite broad as well in different situations, right? I would say it would also depend for me, but I'd say that I would be fairly confident to face the situation. I think there've been situations where my friends have been like you don't even seem phased, like you don't even seem nervous, dude. The outside looks pretty different from the inside, just so you know. Anyway, next question. I get more bored talking about one, imaginings and future possibilities that have no basis in reality, or two, what's happening in the world and what's real.
Second one, that bores me.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about COVID. I don't want to talk about COVID. Stop pushing it down my throat. I don't care. Like, it's a tragedy. That's part, of course I care about that. But I don't want to be talking about it all the time.
I hear you. No, I do get bored about talking about real world things sometimes. And I would say I'm more interested in like concepts, future possibilities, without naming certain words. Yep.
Is that the end?
No. So, next question. I look at things for one, what they actually are, or two, the meaning behind them. That's easy for me. Number two.
Yeah, number two.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, now I can't really answer both questions. Like the real answer is the meaning behind them. But in situations, sometimes I look at things for what they really are to be able to provide an objective.
I think it's more like I've done that in the past where I've looked at things when the way that they were presented to me should have been interpreted as they are. Yeah. But I looked beyond that and it cost me some problems. I've had that, yes. But I'm learning now to look more so at things as they are and be like, okay, this means this normally.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't mean
I shouldn't be laughing.
XYZ. It just means, hey.
It's just because it's the inside joke that we both understand. That's why I'm kind of laughing. Yeah. But, it's tough out there. So, in the real world, don't go crying to your mom.
Did it just turn off?
It's good you actually heard that because I didn't.
What's still going? Let's go.
So, what I was basically saying is we're going to the next question. Are you doing some ASMR?
No. No.
You hate ASMR. No. That was funny. Okay, so next question. I speak in terms that are more, number one, figurative and metaphorical, or two, literal and realistic.
Yes, the first one. Next question.
Yes, I would say the same. Next question is, I appreciate when others, number one, say exactly what they mean, or two, say things in an original or meaningful way.
It depends on context, my guy. If you say exactly what they mean, that was what the first one was, right? If I'm asking a question and I want a direct response, I appreciate a direct response, that they say things exactly as they are. You get me? But like, when someone, on the off occasion where, I'm not necessarily wanting something from someone, but they just say something original and meaningful, I kind of, I do like that. I like to think about that,
True. All right, I see. Yeah, I would say I like people saying things as they are, like saying exactly what they mean. I do understand what you're meaning there as well, and I'm for that in those situations. Okay. Next one.
You didn't really answer the question though.
No, I say exactly what they mean.
So you appreciate directness.
I appreciate directness. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I ain't about waffling around the bush. Like, no. I mean, there's sometimes where like you can have like, insinuating things, like, which is, no, I don't need to elaborate. Anyway, so next one. When I learn something new, I check it with, one, what I have seen as fact from real life, or two, whether it connects with patterns I perceive.
It's probably going to be two, I think. Yeah.
Probably. Do you know yourself well?
Here's man just there answering a question normally, and she just results to violation for no reason. You get me? Like,
I told you. Sorry. This is why my friends never liked me. Anyway.
She said that. I didn't say that. She said that.
Anyways, my answer would be to number two, whether it connects with patterns I perceive. Cool. That is our last question for today. So now that you have heard from us about our answers, have a think about what cognitive functions they relate to, or we relate to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give you some thinking time. That was horrible. That was like an ambulance.
That is hilarious. You are funny, bro. I mean, you can literally pause this video if you want. You know what I'm saying? Elevator music.
There weren't really a lot of feeling questions, were they?
I don't think that there were a lot of feeling questions. But
so
let's talk about
let's
that.
say,
I mean, the one about what would you do?
Someone stole your child.
Your child.
What would you do? How would you feel about that?
Child, dude, you're asking a woman this question.
Yeah.
My innate biological response would be to find out who took that child, where they placed the child, and actually go and find my child. What was your question? Like, what would you do? What would you feel?
I said how you'd feel.
How I'd feel? Dude, I'd feel it, and it's a deep sense of anger.
Okay, so how about someone took you instead of your child?
Took me?
Yeah. Would you feel worse if your child was taken, or would you feel worse if you were taken? Which one would you prefer?
I would definitely feel worse if my child was taken.
Yeah.
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 Does that answer the...
Yeah. And how do you feel about the fact...
Damn, is this a psychological session?
How do you feel about the fact that you're flawed and imperfect, and that you are nothing compared to God?
Why would you put God? Anyway, I think I've already accepted the fact that I'm flawed. Like, I have no feelings towards that. Like, it's just a fact. So, you can't deny facts. I mean, facts, So, anyway.
Do you feel insecure about that sometimes?
Insecure about my flaws?
Your self-worth?
I wouldn't say now I feel insecure about my self-worth. because I know where it's found. It's found in Jesus. Search him up.
Sure. As if no one knows who Jesus is.
I mean, some people actually think that Jesus is a thing and not a person. But anyway.
It's because of your experiences.
That's what I've heard. So does that answer your question?
Yeah.
I think the first one's pretty clear. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how would you feel if like someone stole something that's yours, or if someone moved something that was yours?
I wouldn't really care. It depends on what the thing is in the situation. If it's something that I always place in a particular spot, like my bus card or something, I'd get bothered, yes. But if, a bunch of my items were on the table and someone moved them, I wouldn't really care.
Okay. I think that's where we differ, because I would get bothered if my personal items were, like, moved from its original place to another. Like, again, it depends on the item, but, like, I think things that pertain to me are quite personal.
What do you want?
What do I want in life?
I'm doing the, what is that? Oh, what are they? Self-help group, the online therapy.
Oh, BetterHelp?
BetterHelp. I'm doing the BetterHelp ad. What do you want?
In life? Or what do you mean?
What do you want?
Right now? Or like when? Like,
what do you want?
I want more context.
Okay. Well, you're not getting any.
Well, that's tough. I can't force you to do it. So I'll just leave it on.
Is she really her personality type? Ja, all right, yeah. If that's enough, we can reveal our types.
All right, we can reveal our types. Why did you say, is she really her personality type? This dude is having doubts. I test for something, but instead, in actual fact, I do get other results too. But anyway, what are you?
You're just different. I'm pretty sure a lot of people on my Instagram know what type I am, because I used to talk about it like a lot last year and the year before, but I am INFJ.
Wow.
Again, violates me when this is what we're supposed to be doing.
Whoa, I was actually clapping.
That looked really sarcastic. Okay.
Oh, damn.
Audience, you can tell me if that looked sarcastic.
Damn, people were actually interpreting my actions in different ways. Okay.
That's because my intuition. Now, I already said that in the beginning of the video. I made a point about intuition, me having more than you.
You probably did.
I wonder if they forgot about that. But if you didn't,
now you know.
You would have already known, and it was kind of like destroys the purpose. But what? I'm an INFJ, and we are makeup, according to C.S. Joseph, 0.5% of the population.
When was that video made?
But he mentioned in multiple videos.
Okay.
I think INFJs are becoming more common.
Yeah.
But I still think we're the rarest.
We are the rarest. In actual fact, there was a test that went out, and New Zealand has the highest number of INFJs compared to other countries.
The thing is, though, I bet you most of them just took the test one time and they got INFJ, and they're like, oh, I'm an INFJ, and didn't actually look into it. So I don't really trust. You see that? That's my introverted thinking. I don't really trust those statistics, even though they're proven, because of XYZ. You see my bias, because I'm introverted thinking. I'm thinking for myself, as opposed to just relying on statistics like a normal T user.
Yeah, so he's basically saying I'm a T user.
I mean, it's debatable, but you can say your type.
But the thing is, there is an actual test out there where you can just test for the cognitive functions and which ones you have higher and which ones are lower. And I did a test like that. And what my type is, which I doubt a lot of times.
By the way, when we mention our types, I think it would be good to actually put up the list of cognitive functions underneath. Yeah.
Cool. So again, what I am is an INFJ. I know some people may actually not believe that, probably. But I do think that I do have INTJ sort of tendencies, or how do you explain? Certain things that I gravitate towards, if that makes sense. there was a test that I kind of mentioned before that you can test for different cognitive functions, and I got INFJ, but also I can sort of, because of the way I carry myself, I can be perceived, I guess, as an INTJ in certain instances. So that's just so you know.
Certain instances. Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by that, bro.
You talk very formally a lot of the time, and makes you sound like an INTJ, but I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. See, every time he says that I talk formally, I'm like, what do you mean? Because this is just
certain tendencies. That's what you said, right?
Certain instances.
Certain instances. Like, who says that?
I do. Maybe it's just because I'm a millennial. Anyway,
even millennials. But okay, all right. No, you got it. As Caleb would say.
Sure, but okay. So, yeah, that's that. A lot of tests that I've done, I get INFJ. When I look at the cognitive functions, I identify as INFJ. But also, when I look at INTJ, there is a lot of things that I actually do sort of relate to as well.
Here's an interesting question.
Oh gosh. We're getting personal.
What would you which one would you I don't know if value most. Which one would you prefer? You do something for someone, like let's say you are a valuable asset to the team or at your workplace. You're a valuable asset, so you help out with what other people are doing, you kind of take care of them, and then people acknowledge you and you say, you deserve this prize or whatever. Or because of your caring nature, we really appreciate how much you've helped out other people with their work and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Would that mean more to you than, let's say, you in a similar sense, you've been helping people out, but it's more like you've been providing them information in various ways, and you've been researching things and you're helping other people out with little projects that they're doing, and as a result, you win a prize that's more of no, you don't win a prize, but you get given a status, or let's say you get promoted or something, and you get given this title to say this person is the head of X, Y, and Z because they've been able to promote to contribute this and this and this in terms of information, whatnot, helping people understand things better. Which one would value more, mean to you more? You getting that status promotion, or you receiving that prize for being caring?
I wouldn't want that prize for being caring. Just that's probably because I don't like attention.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I genuinely don't know how to answer that. And the other thing is, when I did the test, my FI and FE were exactly the same result. They're equal.
That's similar to me.
I don't know how to answer that.
You have to give me an answer.
Oh, damn.
Because you still get attention in the other instance as well.
You do, yeah. For both of them.
Maybe you're not even an INJ. Maybe you're just a background type.
Maybe I am a background type.
Keep going.
Search up your background types.
Think about it.
I'm an INFP.
No, you're not. I am more likely to be an INFP than you are. Come on, answer the question. Come on, the audience is saying, Sarah, we're waiting for you.
Oh my God. You got other things to do.
Sorry. Yeah, then listen to this podcast that we're investing all our time in it. Yeah, sure. Yeah, get out of it. We don't want you here. Sure.
Oh my God. Okay. I'll try and think.
It's a joke.
Anyway, damn. I don't think I would. No, I genuinely don't know how to answer. I have to be completely honest with you, because no, I do think I do care about titles. But the thing is, it feels good when I do get recognized for certain things. You know what I mean?
Would you want to leave this world having had a... Wait, no, that's not a good way to put it. Imagine yourself, you're 60 years old, okay?
Yeah.
You got a mansion, right? You got a bunch of money, and people look at you, and people look at you as the CEO of Socius, for example, and you're stacking, okay?
Stacking.
And you know what I'm saying, your status. You got a bunch of followers or whatever. Okay, let's look at that. Then let's look at you've got a rural life. You're same age. You're living in a cottage or house or whatever, and you've helped out. You're known for helping out a lot of people in your community and in the city and whatnot. You have it's a very comfortable life where you're living, and you've got a decent sized house. It's not like it's not extravagant, but it's nice. Okay, and you don't have a bunch of followers on Instagram, none of that. But people know you and people come to you and say that they really appreciate you for how caring and loving you've been to people in the community and how you've provided an impact through this and this and, tending to the poor, all that sort of stuff. Which one is more appealing to you? Which one's more appealing to you?
I would say the second one for the fact of the comfortable life. and probably, yes.
But if you're rich, you have a comfortable as life. It's not
no, but the thing is, I think now that I've kind of experienced a little bit of what it's like to be an entrepreneur, there's a lot of work that goes into it, and there's a lot of stress that comes out as well. And I was like, am I willing to sort of sacrifice things that I value, like sleep, people closest to me? Like, am I willing to sacrifice all those things just to have a status, just to have money? I would not want to sacrifice that. I would rather have a very simple life, have people, few people that are around me that I can,
boring.
But yeah, no, that's the reality. I think and there's a lot of, I think it's really a lot when you become kind of famous and known and stuff like that. I think I'd rather live a more chilled out life and kind of help people here and there within my means.
Okay, how about this then? You have the same living situation, same house. You don't got like a big mansion or anything like that, but the same conditions. So you're the CEO, blah blah blah, but your living conditions are the same. Versus you're known for helping people out in the community, XYZ, but your living conditions are the same. So living in a rural place, got your own stuff, all that sort of thing.
Sorry, I think I need a...
You're living in a rural place. You got a decent sized cottage. There's not a lot of attention. You're in the woods or something, and you have, you're living within a pretty small, secluded community, and you're interacting with your family, whatever. The difference is, well, not really. The difference is, you're known in that place for helping a lot of people out. You don't have a following. You don't have any sort of like status or anything like that. But you're known for being a kind and caring person, and people always come to you and say, "Oh, she's the lady of the village," or something like that. Versus that same thing, same like conditions, whatever. But the difference is, you're known as a CEO. You have a bunch. People know that you have a bunch of money, and you've got like a lot of followers on Instagram and whatever. You got a lot of, you've got a title. You've got followers. You've got.
Right. Yeah. I would choose the
You're famous. You're famous. The difference. That's the main difference. You're famous. The other one, you're not famous.
I don't think I value fame. I think that...
Okay, cool. That's it. That's all we need to know. Yeah, you don't value fame.
Okay, cool. I don't value fame, which means I don't value titles, which means I don't value status.
Yeah, which means you're not a TA user. Cool. Yep, that's us.
That's the end of the podcast.
You're a 9FJ. I was just trying to, see. I'm trying to.
He's trying to type me
to see if she might be an INTJ instead, but no, she's INFJ.
Yeah, no. I think the only thing about being known for helping people is sometimes it's good to have a balance. Just saying. So I think that's why I was a little bit hesitant to really answer that.
I mean, difference again. This is what proves to you that although we're the same type, we're different. Different nurture, etc. And we're different people. You know what I'm saying? I would view helping people out. I mean, from my perspective, it comes from music, and I feel like what I put out in the world through my music, the most like the best part of it, I feel like, is when even one person says that this song really touched me in X, Y, and Z amount of way, in this way, and I really value what you do. You're really, you're helping me get through this this tough time that I'm going through. Like seeing those messages is what really makes me light up. I value that probably the most out of what I get to do. Yeah.
I think that's good. That's very good. I think I value my time, and so how I help people might look different to the way like certain people view helping people, if that makes sense. Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Tune into the next podcast. Try and go do some research yourself. Learn about the cognitive functions. Learn for yourself what your type is. You can, and then, you can even branch into it where you're analyzing people you meet in your day-to-day life and you're figuring out what type they are. Just don't get too consumed about it, because then it takes up literally all you're thinking about is doing that. You meet a new person, what type they are.
And you're not really having genuine conversations.
Exactly. Don't go that far. But if you want to learn a little bit, just read for yourself. I do believe that it's actually something that is scientifically proven from Carl Jung, who originally created it. But yeah,
have a go. Have a crack at it.
Yeah. That's us.
Yeah. Enjoy your days, evenings, wherever you are. And peace out.